Happy Saturday, guys. Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss JD for another episode of our daily stock market insights. And in this video, I'd like to cover a few stocks this time around in the US market. And I'd like to use one tool that I would normally check out if I screen some stocks. And I know some of you are already very familiar with this, but for those who are not, I hope you'll find this very helpful. Okay, so very simple. I just go ahead and go to the Yahoo Finance and I go click screeners. And from here, there are different sections or different categories you can actually visit and check out. Okay, so in this video, I'd like to check our undervalued growth stocks. And by definition, it says here that these are the stocks with earnings growth rates better than 25% and relatively low PE and PEG ratios. Okay, so this is how we're going to do it. As you can see here, you have a total of I don't have the figures, 469 stocks listed. And I'd like to sort this, okay? So you have, according to market cap, we can sort it from highest to lowest. Okay, so in this video, I'd like to review probably the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do the first 6. And just a disclaimer, I do my profile, as an investor and trader, I am more of a mid to long-term holder. So my views here could somewhat be a little different than your views because perhaps you are an intraday trader, a momentum trader. So there would be a slight variation, but just use the ones that you'll find helpful, all right? Or you can use my insights as a point of comparison. But at the end of the day, please do your research, understand the fundamentals of the stock you'll be entering into, and study, all right? So let us go ahead and use this tool and another tool, which is the tradingview.com. So this is free to use, and I also use the Bollinger Band, the RSI, your volume over here, and the basic ones, support and resistance. Okay, so let's get started. I'd like to first review Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated. So let's go ahead and check that out. Here, this one. Okay, so what is the status here? Okay, so we're now looking at a daily chart. Let's try to zoom out a bit so we understand the overall direction, right? So what I can see here at a glance on a weekly chart, we managed to bounce last week for this stock, and the nearest support that I see is right at this level. So sometimes when a stock recovers, normally it would have 2 to 3 days of continuation, and then once it reaches a certain resistance level, then there will be a pullback that will happen. So my forecast here is that, well, unless there's high volatility that will happen, I'm just putting our support at the at this level. How much is this? 469,880. All right, so that is the support I'm looking at. And just in case there will be a day or two where you'll have good volatility, then you can enter at a much lower price. But what I can say here, there's a big possibility of a continuation. You know what happened right here? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of continuation, and then 1 week of pullback, and then a recovery right after that. So if you are to go down or put it on a daily chart, see this? On a daily chart, you are experiencing a slight resistance at the MA20 level. In my Bollinger Band, this is the MA20 line, and so far it is respecting that. So I'm thinking in the next week, probably next week, two things can happen here. we could start the week with a breakout, or we successfully crossed the MA20 line, then that's a different story. Okay, or we could even revisit the same level, and then that's your opportunity to enter very near your support, which is around this level, 444,000. And so that's one thing you need to find out. If we end with a red, then wait for a few days to see a confirmation right here. But if we have a good breakout, then that means your next support will be your MA20 line. All right, so that's your daily view. Next is Bank of America. For Bank of America, let's go to the weekly chart first. All right, so looks like this has established a support on a weekly chart right at the 43 level. So let's see how we could potentially move on the daily chart. Okay, for the daily chart, our next possible resistance would be very near the MA20 line. So there could be a continuation for this. Or what you can do here is in the short term, all right? You can plot, because you got rejected at the MA20 line, and then we had some recoveries right here. So I'm thinking this is just a short term, right? A short term pullback. And where's the Fibonacci? Can't find our Fibonacci. I'm thinking this is Fib channel. I'm used to Investograms. Oh, I don't like this. Okay. I can't seem to find the Fibonacci retracement tool. Which one here is the Fibonacci? Here, there you go. So this is the Fibonacci in the short term. So if I plot it just from the body of the candlestick down below here, if I go up over here, then I will just have to plot it within the body of, at the end of this candlestick. So from body to body, okay? Right here, so these are the key levels if we are going to have a possible retracement, right? So I'm thinking this right here, 0.382, 0.5 to 0.618. If we are going to have some more dips right there, the lowest it could drop would be right at the 0.618 level. But looking at this, I feel that this is already a bounce that's actually that actually took place last Friday. So I'm gonna remove that. Remove drawings. Okay, so this is already a bounce, so I don't have to use my Fibonacci. So that's the purpose of these stocks. I mean these indicators. If you find it helpful in your analysis, then you can just add that. But if it's just going to confuse you or it's not going to help you at all, then you can just remove that. You don't have to have a lot of indicators on your screen. So this is the area where it has already bounced. So I'm thinking there will be a continuation, and the next thing that we want to monitor is this MA20 line. We have to break that, because right now, if I'm to look at it, this is your declining resistance right here. Okay, so if we manage to break this right over here, then that's a good story. You now have broken out of this downward channel. So I think I'm thinking we are at a good area of bounce, actually, right? So check that out this Monday. If we break out of this level, then that's a good sign, and just monitor if it is able to break the MA20 line at the same time. Okay, the next one is Pfizer. Okay, short term resistance. We are experiencing a resistance right at the MA20 line. So let's try to see how it looks like on a weekly chart. Okay, so while I do that, just want to share with you guys that I've been doing this for uh, since 2019, just documenting my thoughts, because you know what I do right after the market closes, I go back to my videos and I watch it and try to understand the thought process. If the movement goes according to my analysis, then I replicate that in my trades. If they're not, then I try to study further, deep dive which part have I missed to make it right, those kind of things. So I hope you'll also find this helpful. You may even want to do it this may follow what I'm doing. You can go back to my video and then check it out after the market closes and see if we are correct. So on a weekly chart, guys, I removed this because this was for a daily view. On a weekly chart, this is a bounce already. So I'd say put this in your watch list, right? This is a candidate for a good stock to consider entering. We dipped, and that was a good what 13-15% decline. And then right now, last week we had a confirmation. This is an engulfing candlestick. The candle is much bigger than the previous red right here. So normally if we are to bounce, if we have something like that, there will be a continuation for several weeks because we're on a weekly chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, right? See this? Sometimes 2 or 3 days in a row, but since we're doing weeks here, sometimes 2 to 3 weeks in a row, it follows the same movement. A continuation happens. So that's my support for a weekly chart. But on a daily chart, intraday, if you want to do quick trades, so try to wait for it to probably um, decline a little bit, because anyway in the short term you are having a resistance right at the 54 level, so try to haggle a few more. So either way, from 50 to 54, that is already a good entry, because consider this, in the weekly chart you have already bounced, so try to haggle between here to 54, because that's already okay. The next stock is Toyota. Oh, what's the code? TM. Okay, not looking good. Um, we're still on a downward movement, but I like that we already have this long wick, because that means people probably felt that that's already a healthy level. I mean, cheap level, ready for the recovery. So, but still, I am going to plot that area as our support, because we might entertain some volatility in the coming days. So if you look back here, this area, each time it gets hit, you have some rejection happening, and we managed to break out of that very smoothly. One entire candlestick for 1 week uh, ended outside or much higher than your resistance, so that's a good one. Now we'll go to our daily. Okay, see that? So we ended with a green, so chances are we'll have a continuation. So um, on a daily chart, I'll increase it up to here. So probably you can haggle between 189 to 193, because there's a big potential that you will recover really soon. All right. So that's for Toyota. Comcast, CMCSA. Okay. Daily. Let's go weekly first. Okay. I would have to say we might have a continuation going down for Comcast. This is your resistance. We're respecting the resistance at the MA20 line, and then you had this long wick, but I think the decline is not over yet. Okay, let me remove my drawings here. This is for the weekly chart. the decline is not over yet. So we might have to go back to the 47 level before it recovers again. All right. So let me go to the daily chart. See that this, because you had two solid green candlesticks. Let me see. Probably we might have some more profit taking. That's already a good 9%, 9.47%. So probably those people who may have entered here might consider taking profit. But if we manage to break out of this MA20 line, or we pass through that, then that's a much safer, it's a safer place to enter, breakout point here. But if it goes down, your next haggle would be the 47. Here's your support area, 47.27. Okay, so I like looking at the bigger picture first, so that if I know that there will be a possibility of a bounce, then I could haggle a little bit on a daily or a much faster time frame. But here, my sentiment here for Comcast, we might have some continuation, probably touching the 47.27 area one more time before it goes up again. Okay, because so far it is respecting this resistance at the MA20 line. Okay, so there you have it, guys. Go ahead and check out this tool. Of course, Yahoo Finance, very helpful, and then you can just simply open each one to have more info of these stocks. Okay, in the meantime, I hope you found it helpful, and feel free to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Let me know if you like me to continue reviewing the US market. I know if you look into my previous videos, most of the stocks I review are from the Philippine market, but if you're also trading or investing in the US market, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know if there's a stock you'd like me to review. In the meantime, I thank you guys for watching, and bye-bye for now.